Okay, our friend Thumpy Covey from over at Thumpy's 3D House of Airsoft over on Scoop It. Make sure you guys check him out. He's always got the latest and greatest news and stories about Airsoft. Awesome guy. He asks, what do you think about all the new gas guns, direct air, or CO2 guns coming to the market? And would it be better if they were blowback or had strong recoil? Thumpy's kind of a man after my own heart, man. Yeah, so you know, I own some non-blowback CO2 guns. I own some non-blowback green gas guns. The positive side of it on these type of guns is that all of the gas or CO2 or whatever is going straight out the barrel, and you're not losing any to the blowback or recoil effect of the gun. So it is a lot more efficient in that way. However, airsoft guns are there to replicate, you know, the real deal, and that recoil, you know, especially. Just look at the smile on a guy's face when he shoots his first gas blowback and it's got that little recoil, that little kick to it, you know what I mean? That's awesome. That's what these things are all about, replicating the real deal and the function of the real thing. It's fun. It feels, you know, you feel that power, pow. It's nice, it's nice. So, especially like on a Polar Star system, for the price point, I think it would be a better sell for me personally if it did have some kind of a recoil or blowback system within it. I would be a lot more interested in myself, for sure. You know, you're already running an external air rig, so why not get a little more bang for your buck? So to answer the question, would it be better if they were blowback or had strong recoil? Yeah, but like I answered originally, you know, the efficiency thing goes into it. So if you're trying to conserve, you know, gas, CO2 cartridges, obviously, you know, the long run, you're going to save a little bit more money. It's going to be a lot more efficient if it doesn't blow back, but it's a trade-off, man. Blowback and recoil, that's good stuff. All right, next question from our friend Josh First over at 400 feet per second Colorado, the most interesting man in Airsoft, asks, how have you been able to stay in Airsoft, both as a player and a business for so long, without the all too common burnout? That's good stuff. You know, as a business, I've been doing the Intrig Airsoft thing, Diles46, on YouTube for a while. I wouldn't really call that a business. You know, I ran the Kansas City Airsoft Association for 2 years during its last leg. Again, I wouldn't really call that a business. That was more of a community thing. The Intrig Airsoft thing is going on its fourth month now, and it's doing fairly well. But as a player, I think that's more important, you know, that question, without the all too common burnout. You know, there was a period where, I've been playing for a long time now, in my early 20s, I was 22, 23, I kind of took a back seat with Airsoft, and I'd play maybe once a month, once every other month, and, you know, I didn't really make it a priority as much as you know, I do now, or I initially did when I first got into it, and I think that's okay. You know, you do see a lot of burnouts. You do see a high turnover with players in Airsoft. You get the seasonal players, the guys that come out for the summertime, or the guys that are, you know, younger, they go off to college, you know, so they play for maybe 1-2 years, they go off to college and go on with their lives. You never see them again. There is a really high turnover with Airsoft, for sure. How have I kept without getting burnt out with Airsoft? You know, I truly love it. I truly have a passion for it. And I think that coincides, that goes hand in hand when you get into making it a business, you know, with anything you do. If it's a passion, it's something you love, you know, you're gonna show it, and more importantly, it's gonna show to others, and it's gonna be a positive thing that's gonna affect you and your business. So as a player, you know, how have I kept from being burnt out? I have before, and like I said, you know, I took a back seat and I didn't go play as much as I think I should have as an avid Airsoft player. But as a business, yeah, I think that it goes hand in hand, man. You know, one thing leads into the other. Do you love Airsoft? Your business will do good. That's it. And I think that shows to everybody. Really good question, man. How do you get around the burnout? You know, if it's, and I've always had this phrase too, life comes first, Airsoft comes second. You know what I mean? And I've said that with my past friends, with past teammates, things like that. You know, you got something to do, life comes first. Obviously, you got kids, you get older, things like that. I'm 30 years old now. I've been playing since I was 17, 18. Yeah, life comes first, you know. Airsoft's a hobby. You know, if you're ever fortunate enough, like myself, to make it into a business and make it into something you can actually do, you know, for a living, I don't know what the secret is, man. Just a passion, just a burning and a love for the sport of airsoft. Here's a funny story, sidetrack, not to get off of Josh's question, but sidetrack. I first got into airsoft because I was looking at, you know, I was shopping around for prices on some real estate items when I became of age, around 18 or 19, and I found airsoft, and I said, well, man, that's a cool alternative. You know what I mean? It's a lot cheaper, it's a lot funner. I like to play with the guns, so I like the replica aspect of airsoft. You know, I've grown up playing with G.I. Joes and things like that, so I've always kind of been into that, you know, passionate side of the military aspect of things. So how do you keep from being burnt out? You know, take your time. If it's something that, you know, you feel that you're pushing yourself into, or your friends are pushing you into a little bit too much, then maybe just kind of back off. You know, spending can be another thing. You know, you don't want to go and spend a whole month's paycheck on airsoft guns and gear at a time. So just kind of take your time, ease yourself in. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. That's the thing with airsoft. You know, I would always recommend, once you get into airsoft, you know, kind of tread lightly. You know, don't buy the $500–600 guns and, you know, $1,000 of gear. Just kind of get in there, get the bare essentials, get your foot in the door, and if you like it, you like it. And you know, I think I find in my experience with the guys that ask me this question, you know, getting into airsoft, I find that they end up liking it. You know, the community's awesome. Most of your airsoft players are pretty cool, man. The community is great. You're gonna meet some awesome guys, good conversations, you know what I mean, good shooting the shit amongst fellow airsoft players, stuff like that. A lot of quality guys, a lot of blue collar Americans, you know what I mean? So how to keep from being burnt out? Here's a good example. When the McRib is back at McDonald's, you know, they give you the extra McRib option for only $1, and that's awesome. And you know what? I always get that extra McRib $1 option. So I get 2 McRibs. And it's awesome because it's only a limited time. The McRib is back, baby. You got to get down on it, right? So I'm eating the McRib, the first one, delicious. Barbecue sauce, little onions all over the place. And then you eat the second one and you're just like, I could have done without that. So pace yourself. Pace yourself. Moderation, always with everything. And, you know, if you love it, stick with it, man. I think you'll find that it's a pretty rewarding hobby for sure. Meet a lot of good people. My bro Cliff over at Elite Force asks, what's better, CO2 or green gas? That's a good question, man. That's like a really good question, actually. That's an ongoing war. CO2 kind of came into the game 3 years ago, pretty strong, and they've been there to stay ever since. CO2 versus green gas, and I'm just talking pistols here. CO2 is a lot more stable gas. It's not affected by the temperature as much as green gas is. You know, here in the Midwest, where temperatures are crazy all the time, green gas it's only a summer thing. You know what I mean? You got to have a 70-degree+ day in order to run a green gas. It's got a quick cool down effect, so if you're quick on the trigger, pop, pop, pop on a green gas gun, you know, you're going to see that quick drop in response from your gas blowback or gas airsoft gun. CO2 doesn't have that issue. It's a little bit more non-affected by temperature. So, you know, the cool side is CO2, like I said, it's a little bit more stable. However, there's no silicone in it, lubricants in it, and CO2 is a little bit more harsher on your rubber seals and O-rings and things like that. So if you're using CO2, make sure that you're keeping everything lubed as well as possible. Keep those things sloppy lubed with pure 100% silicone lubricant. On the other side, green gas is awesome in the summertime. So I'm going to have to say I'm a CO2 guy. But that being said, I'm a CO2 guy that knows how to keep my O-rings and my seals lubricated with 100% silicone lubricant. Last question from my wife, Mrs. Diles46. She asks, when playing in the field, what do you suggest packing for nutritious snacking? This goes back to the kind of the open field days, the woodland outdoor field days. I used to grab some snacks to throw in my Camelback pouch. You know, something that you can eat on the go, something you can eat for lunch. I don't like eating a big lunch during airsoft games. It weighs you down, it makes you a little tired. So I always just kind of took some snacks. So I'd hit up the grocery store or the gas station before the night of planning for the airsoft game, or you know, on the way out getting gas, I'd hit up and get some snacks. So what I always got, man, is Fiber-1 bars. I love those things. Beef jerky, a lot of salt in them, a lot of sodium, but it's pure protein, and it's filling. It'll hit the spot. And then I'd always pick up just a gallon jug of water to fill my Camelback back up. You know, filtered water in the jug from the gas station. Yeah, granola bars, Fiber-1 bars are awesome. Beef jerky, what else, man? I think I'd pack a couple Diet Cokes, but that's my own thing. When playing in the field, what do you suggest packing for nutritious snacking? Yeah, you can't go wrong with beef jerky and some kind of granola bar. You know, something healthy, something light, something that's going to hit the spot, fill you up a little bit, but not weigh you down. So there you go, guys. Make sure you leave your questions in the comments below, and go ahead and title them question, quote unquote. And I will make sure that I can see those easier and hopefully answer those in the future episodes. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe, Diles46 on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram at intrigue_airsoft, and hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/intrigueairsoft. All right, guys, until next time.